Hey buddy, good morning package.
Hello, guitar pickers. Today we're going to talk about the biggest bargain, the best deal in all of guitar tech. Really, as far as tone goes, 70% of your tone comes from your amp. Now, it's hard to admit that on the Strat Show because it's about guitars, but 70%, that's where I put it. At 70% of that is the preamp in your amplifier. There are a lot of amplifiers, of course, that are great out there that we'd all love to have. We'd all like to have a Marshall Plexi. I assume, would like to have a Hiwatt or a Bogner. And there's modeling stuff, amp modeling and stuff now. But I think the best way to go, if you're on a budget and like a lot of mortal humans can't afford a Hiwatt or a rectifier or something like that, or a Marshall Plexi vintage amp.
The answer? Get a tube distortion pedal. It's a preamp and a pedal.
You can get the preamp, and they sell them as pedals, and they're often called tube distortion pedals, but it's a preamp.
Hello and welcome to the Strat Show, where we discuss all things Stratocaster.
Here I'm going to demonstrate two tube preamp pedals, distortion pedals. One is the Mesa Boogie V-Twin, which is not made anymore, but you can get them used for $300 or so. All these pedals are around that. And the other one I'm going to use is the Hiwatt distortion pedal. And you're just going to save about $700 in the long run because all these amps are $1,000 and up. But if you get a cheap solid state amp and one of these distortion preamps, you can get a very good sound for several $100s less than that. Half that price. $600 total, $700 total, instead of $1,500, $2,000, $2,500 for a matchless or Bogner or some sort of vintage amp.
Neither sound's cutting through right now. And this is the Hiwatt.
Use the high one. You need it to cut through, and for each note to sound different.
Okay, that's Mesa, Hiwatt.
So now, if you'd like to take a guess as to which distortions we're using here, we're mixing in some preamps, some tube distortions, and see if you can tell what is what. All right, I'm going to show you which ones are which now.
Today we're going to do an Israeli style unboxing. What happened was I got a package on eBay and it was sent DHL because I'm not going to use the Israeli regular mail if I can avoid it. And it came via a local courier, which is an independent company, which I won't go in the name of, but it's one of the big names like Amazon or UPS or FedEx, DHL, or so. As we're about to go on vacation, literally walking to the car with everything in the car, the guy comes and I signed for it and he's like, okay, here you go. And I'm like, I'm not going back in the house. So I throw the box in the back of the car with all the other stuff. Then I get a call, we're at the hotel, having sun and I'm having a beer and the guy's saying, hey, that package we dropped off, we forgot to run it through the customs thing and there's customs zone on it. Don't open it. And I'm like, what? He said, we need to come over there and take the package or something. We need to come over there and see you. And I'm like, I'm in Herzliya with this package. And they're like, oh no, when are you coming back? I said, Friday. And he was like, oh no. So, he said, we'll get back to you, but don't open it. So here is my unboxing of Hiwatt Distortion pedal, Israeli style.
Every day that passed, I wondered, how long do I have to wait? When should I open it? Should I call them? Am I going to get in trouble? So I waited and waited. So we got to hanging out, me and the package. We got to know each other really well, and it didn't really matter what was on the inside.
A4.
It was the outside that counted. So after we'd gone on vacation and come back, and I didn't know what was going on, I said to my friend, what should I do here? He said, give him another day. Give him till Monday. I gave him till Monday, and then I said, checked on eBay. eBay said it was fine. It said it delivered, so I opened it. Hey, but what's that little piece of paper there? Should we read it?
Oh,
Should we read it?
Knobs, terrific. What does it sound like? Let's find out today at band practice.
But then in band practice, it didn't work. It made this horrible buzzing sound on the clean channel, and the distortion wasn't really working well either. I was so mad. What am I going to do? Send it back to England now after all this? It was so unfair. So then I went home and fooled around with all my equipment again. And I figured out there's this little piece of paper in the box that I had ignored. It was the directions.
What's this? Directions?
Yes, it's directions, you idiot. There did happen to be some problems with the Marshall wiring, which sucks because basically I have 4 broken amps, but that's another story. The next week at practice, I did get the pedal to work, and I brought in my Mesa V-Twin pedal also, and we did a compare and contrast and see which one we like better. This is the point where we came in at the beginning of this video. Now you get to hear the band discuss which pedals we like.
Seems like the Hiwatt just is a little tighter, a little more collected for chords than the Mesa.
Yeah, what you need for this. No contest.
It's very peaty. This is not quite as, it's more spread out.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Oh yeah.
The Hiwatt is like he sounded in the mid-70s.
Yeah.
And because he used Hiwatt. and the Mesa sounds like he sounded in the early 80s when he switched to Telecasters, he was using Mesa.
Right. So, well, that's good. So, I mean, I got this thinking it would help. So, glad you guys agree.
pretty good. I like it. So you guys like the Hiwatt better, which makes sense. Because that's what people do.
So we decided at this point that this is going to be what we're going to use, what I'm going to use. We liked it better for what we're doing, which is a lot of power chord stuff, a lot of very rhythmic stuff.